Hello, it's me back again with another video. Dancing with the Stars, season 24, week 7, a recap or review or whatever you want to call these. Yeah, this is kind of late this week. I know, I'm sorry. Um, I had a final on Tuesday, and so my blog post kind of got um, pushed back a day, so I ended up having to do it Tuesday night, and then I just was gonna try and do it on Tuesday. Well, not Tuesday, wait, Wednesday, first thing in the morning. This video, but not first thing in the morning. Well, kind of like 12 midnight. But I recorded it and it didn't turn out very well, so I tried it again last night, but I was super tired and I was falling asleep during the video. So I'm doing it now. Yeah, we're getting it done. So also angles just a bit different. I'm filming this at a different time of the day, and something was going on with the lighting for a second there, and it's still going on. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm filming this during the day versus the night, and I'm filming it inside my house, and I don't believe I filmed. Um, I take that back. I have just not in a while, but yeah, just kind of gotta get used to it. But yeah, here we are. Just had to explain stuff. And yeah, let me just go ahead and start. Julianne wasn't here this week. She's still on her move tour, Move Beyond tour. So Mandy Moore was the guest judge. Um, I have issues with Mandy Moore being a guest judge, just because she's so familiar with the stars and so familiar with everything that they do and sees all of their routines before um, the night of the show, because she's really producing and directing and all that stuff, like the dance and aspects of the show, mostly in the staging, at least for like opening numbers and troupe numbers and all that choreography stuff. So it just felt a little weird and a little like it wasn't supposed to happen. Um, but yeah, so up first was Bonner and Barna. Let me get my words together. Bonner and oh my gosh, I cannot speak. Bonner and Sharna. There we go. They had a paso. It was a night at the movies also, so keep that in mind. They had a paso and they got a 29. Their theme was Western, which fits right into Bonner's wheelhouse. Um, so the dance took a little long to get started, which I mean, I kind of was like, fine, whatever, this is the theme or whatever, so the dance is, I'm going to be lenient on that this week. Um, I thought it was decent for him. Technically, it's about the same that he's been. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't super easy to watch, which is decent for him. It's not his best, but it's definitely not his worst. Um, I think he. I don't think he's going to get much. I really don't think he's going to get better in terms of his technique and just being dancing. Dance wise, I don't think he's going to get better. Um, I just think that he's gotten to a point where he's done all he can do. He's really showed us all he can show us, and now he's just kind of riding the wave of the fans. Um, I do think that he's still growing as a performer, and I did see a little more performance out of him this week, and he seemed a little more comfortable. That could be, there's probably because of the theme, but I am seeing that, but I'm not sure if we're going to see that grow too much more longer. Um, Otherwise, I mean, it wasn't bad. Um, Shocked to see him still here, um, especially considering the fact that he's really been a non-event for the entire season. So it's just very shocking to me that he's still in the competition. But you know, it happens. Up next was Nancy and Artem, and they had a tango. Their theme was romance, and they were dancing to "Oh Pretty Woman," which I really love that song. Um, they got a 36. Honestly, I think they probably there is three dances last night, not last night, Monday, that I think should have been scored higher than they were. This was one of those dances. I think she could have gotten at least one or two tens for this because it was really good. I didn't really see much wrong with it. In fact, the judges were being very nitpicky with her. Um, the whole fact of talking about how her shoulders were rising during one little portion of a turn that I really didn't even see. I think that's just kind of like the ultimate nitpicking right there, just for that dance, because really, honestly, it was good. If you really wanted to be nitpicky, you could talk about the fact that her frame every now and then got a little bouncy, and I would have accepted that because that would make sense, um, if you wanted to be nitpicky. But yeah, um, otherwise, I thought it was great. Artem did a really good job of choreographing this dance, and um, I think the story went well, and the technique was amazing. This was definitely Nancy's best dance, and was a great dance for her to go out on. I'm really glad that she had that. I'm sad that she's left, but I'm really glad that we got to see her journey. And even with this crap that's been going on this season, and the crap's only been going since like what, week five, yeah. So even with all the crap going on this season, it was nice to have someone like Nancy who truly enjoyed her experience, who really just, you could see her growth from week to week, and you could see her really coming out of her shell, and really um, just really being super genuinely appreciative of the experience. And Artem too. This was the best I've ever seen Artem on this show, both in terms of choreography, being invested, and his relationship with his partner. This is what I want to see from a pro, and Artem is finally hit that point for me, and I hadn't been sold on him up until now, and I think now I finally see it for him, kind of. Yeah. Up next was Simone and Sasha. They had a Charleston, a silent movie Charleston. They got a 37. This was another dance that should have been scored higher. This actually should have been a perfect score. This honestly was the best dance of the night, in my opinion. Um, that choreography that she did was extremely difficult. Um, Sasha really challenged her. The tricks were amazing, and they fit. They just weren't thrown in as like, "Hey, look what Simone can do," but they actually fit with the routine, and it made sense. Um, and they fit with the style of the dance too. Um, thought her technique was flawless. I thought everything about it was amazing. So, it should have been a 40. I know why it wasn't, because they had to save that perfect score for um, the last person who danced. Because why are we going to give both of them a perfect score? Because then we're put in a predicament where, well, we need to save one of them and the other one's fine, but now they both have perfect scores and they both have the same amount of cumulative points. So now what do we do? And then they would have had to do a lot more extra work, which is part of the reason why I hate the immunity dance off challenge things. I hate it because not only is there a ton of politics within the show involved in it, and the reason why somebody gets immunity, unless they just, the person they want to get immunity just blows it completely. Besides that, there's just a lot of mess that could happen. And it's like, well, then what happens? And then, well, then we go to Lynn, and it's like, but then what if Lynn gives them both the same score? Then what? Then you have to go to Lynn and ask him which one he liked better, and then just gets it's just it's not a very good challenge. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of issues with it. I also hate that chemistry, um, emotion, show emotion, be in the moment, think about the dance thing that that comment that Mandy gave Simone. It's illogical. It's stupid. It's something that the judges go for when they have nothing else to do to go after. And it makes no sense, especially what they were talking about with that dance, because honestly, I saw her connected to it completely. Um, but when the judges pull out that critique, for some reason, that's one of the few critiques that the that critique, doing tricks and breaking the rules. Um, I think those are the two critiques that in chemistry, but that's kind of with the emotional piece. So those two critiques are what the viewers really cling on to and hold on to for dear life, and will just like be like, oh well, they didn't have this, and it's like it's not there. And so they put this bug in the viewer's audience's ear, in their head, and they kind of have this playing out as they're watching this person, and then their idea of the performance is tainted by that bug that's been put in their head, by the judges. I've seen it done so many times in the show before. Most recently, I remember it was done to Nastia to a terrible, terrible extent or whatever. But yeah, just a lot going on with Simone and Sasha in general. Um, I love the dance. I love them. I thought it was amazing. My favorite dance of the season. But there's a lot of mess that they've been swept up in, and they're kind of getting the bad end of it now. They've been getting the bad end of it since the beginning of the season. So yeah, that's that. Up next was Nick and Peta. They had a Argentine tango. It was action movies. Yeah. Um, they got a 34. This is really good. This is Nick's best dance of the season by far. He was in the moment. His technique was great. I think his musicality was much better than it has been. He really performed the dance. He wasn't in his head. He wasn't super nervous. It really looked like he was, as Mandy said, he looked like a dancer at this point and not somebody trying to dance, but he looked like he was dancing. Um, and that was great to see. I'm glad they had that moment. I'm glad Peta, also, who's kind of been everywhere this season, understandable. I'm sure her head wasn't completely in the show because she did just have a baby. And it was very clear to me that she's kind of been um, torn. Um, it's been clear that she's been kind of torn. So her head's not always been in the game, but I think this week and the past few weeks for sure, but this week especially, everything was in it. She was focused. Because the choreography was great. I thought the story was great. I thought Nick did a great job. I just thought everything fell into place perfectly for these two. I am a bit bummed that they were eliminated as well. Not surprised by it. I was fully expecting their elimination for sure, after the way the judges trashed them last week. But yeah, just a bummer. I thought he grew a lot. I really enjoyed them, and I didn't think I was going to enjoy them. So yeah, just thought it was sad, but it happens. Um, Up next was 4 or 5. Rashad and Emma. They had a paso. It was a horror theme, and they got a 37. Honestly, I thought this dance, you could make an argument for why it should have been a 40. And I would have made that argument because the judges were being extremely nitpicky with him. If you want to be nitpicky, you could talk about kind of like his feet and how his feet have some issues. Um, but I do think it deserved at least a 39, because I would have expected that comment from Lynn. And that would have made sense. I still would have been like, but I would have understood it coming from Lynn. But the fact that it came from the other judges, besides Mandy, um, is frustrating. I think probably I'm going to say, um, the whole posture comment, I didn't think that was very valid. I thought his posture was great. I thought his frame was great. I thought he was really making himself to be big and dramatic and stuff like you need an apostle, and I really think he sold that. Um, I love the story. I love the dance. I thought he did a great job. Um, yeah. Up next is um, David and Lindsay. They had a sci-fi salsa, and they got a 32. I thought this dance was actually really, it was interesting. It was very innovative. It was very cool. It was very fun, and I thought it was good. Um, I think Lindsay probably had the hardest task, because pairing a sci-fi anything with the salsa, um, you really got to do some thinking for that. But I think she really did a great job, which is part of the reason why I think she's the best choreographer on the show and the best pro on the show at this point. And I wish the show would stop trying to invest all of their time on Val and trying to make him happen and make him the star of the show and make him the new Derek or the new star or whatever, when he um, is nowhere near the popularity of Derek, Mark, or his brother Max. Um, you can try and say he's popular all you want, and while he may be popular, he's not on the levels of those three. And honestly, I'm gonna say he's not even near Cheryl, who's probably more popular than Max was, or about the same level of popularity. Um, Honestly, I don't even know how popular Val is on his own, just because, oh my gosh, this is turning into a Val critique. Let me just finish this up and then get back into David and Lindsay. But honestly, I'm not sure how popular Val is, because his partners um, are all people who are pretty much guaranteed a spot in the semifinals. And then um, he gets pushed and pimped and all that by the producers of the show. But I'll probably get more into that with the next dance. David and Lindsay again. Lindsay did a great job, amazing choreography. I thought she really played well to David's strengths and really hid some of his issues very well. I thought this was much better than his cha cha, um, which is his last extremely like rhythmic Latin dance. Um, he's definitely grown since then. It started out kind of stiff and shaky and all that, but I think about a quarter of the way to halfway through, it got turned on, and he really nailed the last part of the dance, and I thought he did a great job. I thought a 32 was appropriate, the first time he's been appropriately scored, and not underscored in a long time. I do think if that first part was better, I would have given it a 9, because it was really good and it had the potential to be his best dance. And it may very well have been his best dance. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was great. I'm glad they're still in the competition, and at this point I hope that they're rounding out the top three. Um, Last was Normani and Val. They had an Argentine tango, and their score was a 40, of course. Their film genre was foreign. Um, I thought Normani did a good job with what she was given. However, I'm going to say, after watching the dance back yesterday, I realized that her legs still have some issues. Um, Especially when she's coming out of turns. I don't know why Val doesn't really work on coming out of turns with his partners. because I feel like I say this every single season about his partners, and when they come out of turns, they're off balance and there's things going on with their legs and feet that are trying to get back on balance, and it just, I don't know why that doesn't click with his partners and why they're not able to do that. Um, but it's every single one of them I have had the same critique about. Now, right there, that shouldn't have been a perfect score. And there was the blunder that was very obvious where her feet got really jumbled coming out of a turn. Um, Also, it just, at this point, like, I just need more from them. Like, yeah, I mean, I guess they finally did the dance that they were assigned to do, and they did it for the entire dance. But I mean, even content wise, and I just am expecting more because Normani is capable of so much more. Now it's such a basic Argentine tango, number one, and number two, it just looked like so many of his other Argentine tangos, um, and felt like them and all that stuff. And like, while I get it's the same pro, and all that stuff, whatever. But I even think that he's danced to this song before with the celeb. I think he did it with either Ginger or Rumor. I don't know, but it wasn't too long ago. And it felt exactly like that one. And I'm just kind of at the point where I'm like, I'm over it and I need to see something different for an Argentine tango, because I think the last Argentine tango that he did that I was truly impressed by was the one he did in season 18 with Meryl. After that, they've just kind of been a remix of that one. Um, but yeah, um, she got the perfect score, which kind of, and then the way that the judges were praising her and all that stuff, and really kissing her, well, kissing his butt, and then just praising Normani and all that stuff, um, leads me to believe, and um, I'm just gonna, leads me to believe she's not getting the votes that they want her to get. Because what that felt like to me was they were trying to sell them to us. Um, and it felt like they're saying, Normani is amazing, or Normani is great, she's amazing, you need to vote for her. She is so good, you need to vote for her. Please, please vote for her. Really, honestly, please vote for her. Like, seriously, vote for her, please, please. That's how it felt. Like, it really felt like they were trying to sell them to us. Um, so I'm not sure if she was completely safe on Monday night. To be honest, I've been thinking, like, I've been wondering since Heather got eliminated, now that we've kind of opened the can for surprising and shocking eliminations, um, I'm just kind of thinking like Normani is probably next on the chopping block. And last night, not last night, Monday night definitely kind of proved that she's kind of in that danger zone. And that Monday night, had she not have gotten that perfect score, she may have been eliminated. Um, I'm not convinced that she wasn't at the bottom of the leaderboard or second from the bottom. I'm not convinced of that at this point. It just feels like they're really trying to get us to vote for her. Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but I mean, that's the way the show works and how it's always worked. So now we have all that done and we go to the dance offs. Just going to do some quick thoughts. Simone and Nancy did a cha cha. I like both of them. I think I liked Simone just a little bit better because I like that. I felt like the style a little bit better because they went for different styles. But I thought Nancy did a great job too, and I thought it was really evenly matched. Um, and yeah, I just thought they both did a really good job. Moving on, Rashad and David, they had a drive. I thought they both did a good job. But you know, David got. I mean, they both got off time, slightly. But David had more issues than Rashad did, and Rashad was more technically sound. And Rashad's jive made me just excited for his full length, full routine, full jive routine that's coming up. I think this week. I think they're doing it this week. So I'm excited for that because just kind of the feeling that he gave around, like, yes, the jive's going to be his dance. Um, and then Bonner and Nick were left with the rumba, and I thought they both did a really good job. I thought it was both of their, um, they both did really good, even though I didn't pay attention to their dance as much because I went to go eat my dinner and I came up at like, as they were dancing, I was like, ooh, oh, okay. Um, I thought they both did a good job, and I was actually surprised at how well Bonner did. I do think I mean, he deserved that 3 points, though, or 2 points. I'm not sure how many points was added, but I'm not sure if the show wanted him to get those extra points because um, they may have thought that he was, or the judges rather. I'm not sure if the judges wanted him to get those extra points because I think they might have. I think they thought he was going home. Um, so I think them thinking he was going home and the fact that they gave him extra points and he's not means that he um, has less ground to make up to send somebody else home this week. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the dance off. Also my thoughts on the week. Let me know how you felt. Let me know how you feel just about the season in general. To be honest, the season has had the potential to be really great, but it's just really fell flat. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that the people who had the largest ringers who could have really set the tone for the season didn't do their jobs. Um, but yeah, that's it. Let me know how you feel, and I will talk to you all. Hopefully, I'll be back either tomorrow or Saturday with a video because I really want to talk about a couple of things. Um, and I need to make a video about it, and I'm going to be free this week because I'm almost finished with my first semester of grad school. So, yeah, I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.